All right, now we're going to look at the quotient property, which is when we're dividing exponential expressions. So before we do that, I want to go over a couple of things like what's 10 divided by 10? 1. What's negative 50 divided by negative 50? 1. What's 265 divided by 265? It's 1. Any number divided by itself is 1. This is also true with variables. X divided by x is 1. B divided by b is 1, which you can see right here in this image. X over x cancels out. X over x cancels out. X over x cancels, A over A cancels out. B over B cancels out. The same number in the top divided by the same number in the bottom is always going to equal 1. So we actually don't need that information. So going on to the next slide, let's actually try some of these. Oops, a little bit too far ahead. Okie doke. So for this problem here, oops, this is very laggy. I'm sorry. So for this problem here, let's start by expanding it. I have 10, and then I have 8 b's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divided by 2, and then I have 5 b's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, any number divided by itself is 1. Or any letter divided by itself is 1. So here I see I have b over b. B over B, B over B, B over B, and B over B. 5 B's in the top divided by 5 B's in the bottom just gives me 1. And anything times 1 is itself. So we actually don't even need that information. Now what's left over? 10 divided by 2 gives me 5 in the numerator. And then I have 3 B's, B to the third power. For this next one, I have 6 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, divided by 4 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a B. Again, I see I have an A in the top, an A in the bottom, A in the top, bottom. All of those, since they match up perfectly, cancel out. Now what I'm left with is 2 A's in the top, which is A squared, over 1 B in the bottom, which is just B. The next one gets even trickier. 18, MM, and separate these out. 3 N's in the bottom. To do a fraction, you can just use the fraction bar like that, using the slash like that underneath the question mark. And then I have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So again, I can start to cancel out. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I have 2 M's in the top, cancels with 2 M's in the bottom. 3 N's in the top, cancels with 3 N's in the bottom. So now what's left over, I have to do 18 divided by 6. That leaves me with a 3. And that's going to be in the numerator because 18 is bigger than 6 and 18 is in the top. So the 3 stays in the top. Then the only variables that I have left over in the bottom are my m to the third power. So they're going to stay there. Next one, xx, 1, 2, 3, 4 y's divided by 2 y's and an x. Doesn't matter what order they're in because this is all just a multiplication problem. I see 1x in the top and 1x in the bottom. I have 2 y's in the bottom, so they cancel out with 2 y's in the top. Now what I'm left over with is 1x and 2 y's. All right, last but not least, I have 2 r's, 4 s's. I'll put in some spaces so that I can separate kind of everything out. Makes it a little bit easier to look at. All right. Now, 20 divided by 4 leaves me with a 5, but 20 is bigger, so that means 5 is going to be in the denominator. Now I'm going to cancel out my r's. I have 2 r's in the denominator, cancels with 2 r's in the numerator. One s in the numerator cancels with one s in the denominator, which means I am left with, in the top, I don't have any big numbers left, but I do have 4r's, so it becomes r to the 4th power. In the bottom, I have that 5, the big 5, and then s to the 3rd power. Go ahead and try some of these next ones on your own.